Pranic Healing, inner peace, better relationships, spiritual connection, health, balance, harmony, joy, love. Welcome to the podcast of How Pranic Healing Changed My Life. I'm your host, Nicole Fouche, and this podcast shares the many benefits of pranic healing and how people's lives have changed for the better after becoming involved in this revolutionary healing modality. We will share testimonials from people who have experienced the multiple benefits of pranic healing and how they have integrated the teachings into their lives. This relaxed platform shares the raw, authentic, heartfelt stories and the miracles that have unfolded. I hope these stories inspire you. So welcome to the segment of our podcast, How Pranic Healing Changed My Life. And this is a very special one because I only heard the story a couple of weeks ago. And Kim has become such a dear friend through pranic healing. And one of the things I absolutely love about pranic healing is just the incredible people I get to meet and spend my time with. And if that was just one of the things that I got from pranic healing, it would just fill my cup right to the top. So I'd like to introduce you to Kim Sire. Thank you, Kim, for joining us today.
Oh, it's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I would love you to share how you got involved in pranic healing. What were you looking for? What were you searching for? What were the signs that you saw that got you into pranic healing? Please share.
Sure. It's a great question. I actually had an aunt who was passing away from cancer, and all her life she had arthritis. So her hands, I've always seen her hands bent. And when she would bake for us or work with us, her hands were folded in from this arthritis. So I happened to be right beside her when she left the body, when she passed away, and her hands opened, completely opened. And I remember being so surprised by that. And the clearest question popped in my head. Why did she think she was that? Why all her life, if she could let it go as she was leaving, why did she hold and think she was that? And so interesting enough, that question was like a door opening for me, and I had to know the answer. So I went to libraries. I started reading books about what happened after this, what happened after life. Why did she think she was this? And it led me to a pranic healing class, a basic pranic healing class. And that class was so powerful. Actually, how I met pranic healing was so powerful in just that one setting that I signed up for all the classes at once. And I've never looked back. So it has really continued to answer my life questions. And I've been doing it for 22 years. And I still, to this day, it's like learning something new over and over again. So I'm so excited. Yeah, that I found something like that.
That is amazing. And that's the one, there were actually two things that I picked up out of that were just incredible. And Master Choa Koksui, the founder of Pranic Healing, there's an affirmation called the I am the soul. And in that affirmation, I am not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the emotions. And already before you even got into pranic healing, when your aunt passed and you saw her letting go, she was not that body, she was not that pain, she was not those scrunched up hands. It's almost like your soul was communicating to you, and that awareness was already coming in. And that is just fantastic. And it's a theme I've been working with this week, because one of the classes we've got coming up is the Achieving Oneness with a Higher Soul. And that really covers so much of that information in terms of what happens when you pass. How do you know what your divine purpose is? How do you know what your soul purpose is? And that's the thing I love about pranic healing, is the diversity of teachings. Because the second thing you said was, I keep learning. Like when these things come up in life and we don't know what's around the corner, or there's something that comes up, you can always find the answers in pranic healing. And that's what I love, because I've studied so many different things, but when I got into pranic healing, it literally checked all the boxes. You know, if you've got a relationship issue, there's a technique and a tool for that. If you're feeling stressed, there's something for that. If you're looking for guidance in life, there's something for that. There's always something. And even with these beautiful teachings, there's just different layers of depth to each of them, which is just amazing. So I'm glad you shared that like right out the gate with everybody, because that was a lot. So tell me, how has pranic healing changed your life specifically? I know you've experienced miracles. I know there's been so many profound moments, but just to highlight some of them, I think would be fantastic.
It's a really beautiful question. So I'm a single parent. My daughter is 20 years old, and I was 3 months pregnant when I found Pranic Healing. So she literally has been raised as I've been taking these courses, classes, and it has really allowed me to change the trajectory of our lives, like break generational patterns that that really were enmeshed in our family. So I really have raised my daughter with these tools and techniques that allow her to be really, like you said, independent, connected with her purpose. We have so many tools in Pranic Healing that align you and really refine you to just know what you're here for, what you're here to do. And to see, I knew that, but then when you see someone in your family also imbibe that and also embody that, that is very profound. So she has gone through her whole life with these tools and techniques. And now that she's on her own at college, 4.5 hours away, she either uses these tools herself or will call me and say, Mom, can you please do this for me? So we continue to, this is something we do together. And I'm really grateful for that.
Gosh, that's amazing. And what a gift as a parent.
Yeah.
To raise conscious, aware children with a will to do good, with an understanding of the principles. And when you look at pranic healing, our great teacher had the vision of one pranic healer per family. And to be able to share that with your children, just that willingness to do good, to bless our planet, to really just be socially aware these days is absolutely vital. One thing I've seen is just how many young children and young adults are struggling on so many different levels, and to be able to have tangible tools to rely on. There's no better legacy that you can leave your children than having self-help techniques that they can use in a time of crisis. That is just phenomenal.
And I think that's really important to say, because not only am I a parent, but I'm also a teacher of 32 years in a public school. And it was my 11th year of teaching that you would hear this one saying, it would be, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And you would hear that over and over. And I was like, if that is true, why would I be in this profession? And so I was like, again, those questions simultaneously was, these are the questions that were really knocking me forward and saying, like, this cannot be true. I have to be able to make a difference. And it was, and again, still continues to be pranic healing that I use as a teacher, not only to keep myself from being burned out. We have a meditation on twin hearts. It keeps my heart open, because anyone, a parent or someone who deals with children, your heart has to keep being open wider and wider, because the challenges that they have, the situations that they're in, it just really keeps me in the game. Honestly, to the best way I could say it.
What a gift to your students, because we've all been aware like how stressful teaching can be, and you're spending critical moments with our children, sometimes more than what the time they spend with their parents, and being able to come from a place of peace and calm and love and compassion and heart-centeredness. That must just be the most incredible feeling for a child that might be overwhelmed, with everything that's going on in the world and their family and their situation, and coming to the safe space with a teacher that's so conscious and so aware and so heart-centered. I mean, what lucky kids to have you as a teacher.
Yeah, and I feel the same, like, because it helps me with the eyes to see, and that really I stay youthful in my profession, which I'm grateful for.
Fantastic. So you took this class, what, 20 years ago, you said?
22, yes.
Wow. Where are you now? Like, what are you doing? How are you sharing this
Yeah.
lifetime of information? Where are you now with all of this?
I actually so I did end up becoming an instructor of Pranic Healing. I teach basic Pranic Healing level 1 and level 2, and I teach it in the Pennsylvania area, New York, Maine, Massachusetts. So I'm up that East Coast area, and one of the other things I do is I've taken Arhatic yoga and I run an Arhatic practice in the morning. And I'll tell you why I'm saying this now is because to have these tools is one thing, to practice them is another. So at night, I run a healing pod, which many of us are doing nowadays, but you could, like, people take the classes and you have somewhere to go to start practicing these tools and applying them right away. When we started out 22 years ago, you were really on your own reading the books, or like you would take the class and then by the time you got home, you'd be like, well, I think they said this, but I love the practice. I truly see the value in that.
You're teaching on your off time and your on time. So
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
Embodied it.
That's amazing. And I completely understand that sense of giving the support and nurturing, because with a lot of workshops, as you said, you take the workshops and there's no follow-up. You'd have to retake the class again and read a lot of the books. And what I'm seeing in Pranic Healing is there's so many instructors stepping up and coming in from a place of nurturing. So it's not like you do the class and then you're on your own. You can take these classes, you can take these meditation on Twin Hearts events and join a like-minded soul community where, I must just say, like, Pranic healers are just a lovely bunch of people, very heart-centered, good-natured people. And our goal is to get you confident in the teachings, get you confident with the skills that you've learned. And there's nothing more joyous for us to see when people start and then suddenly they start building their confidence, and then the joy comes in with, oh my gosh, I healed this, I helped this, I did this, I did that. It's just so lovely to witness. And having these opportunities with instructors that can support you and nurture you and help you achieve your optimal health and potential, that is just an amazing offering. So Kim, how do people get hold of you? What is the best way for them to?
Okay, that's a good question. www.pranichealingpen.com. So through the website is the best way, yeah, to reach out. Yeah.
I would imagine if you're a parent, if you've got kids and you want somebody who really can speak their language, I think Kim is that person. Kim, if you had a message to share with the world, if there's one person they're struggling and they just need a sign or a message from somebody, like, what would that message be to them?
In my heart, from the basic class, the book is called Miracles Through Pranic Healing. And I would honestly say, believe in miracles. You have to believe again in miracles and really lean into them, do the work to create them. They're in our nature and they're a part of our being. You just have to lean in and believe in them to see them happening over and over. I've experienced so many miracles through Pranic Healing, and I truly now really get why it's called that from level 1.
You know, it's interesting because that didn't register to me when I took level 1. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, how many documented miracles have we got? And that was actually part of the reason for doing this podcast, is to literally have testimonials from real people leading normal lives, doing normal jobs. You know, none of us are specially gifted in anything, but all of us can take these teachings and integrate them into our lives and literally create miracles in our lives. And it's just the most beautiful, beautiful way to spend your life and to really empower yourself. And I think that's the key, is being able to heal yourself and others and let the miracles unfold. We just are such a beautiful teacher. So thank you, Kim. I'm so glad I got to share your message with everybody. Beautiful path, beautiful journey. I thank you so much.
And I thank you for being a part of this and in my life. Thank you, Nicole.